And here's the thing, depending on what you sell in your Etsy shop, you may be out of compliance. Etsy is not great about telling their sellers when their rules change. One of them you may not have heard of, and the other one literally just went into effect days ago. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that is unfortunately gone now. Etsy sellers, I need you to come here because we need to have a chat. If you use a Cricut or a laser or a sublimation printer to make things to sell on your Etsy, I'm not sure if you know this, but Etsy has changed the rules. And y'all, this was done quietly, with no email, no big banner, and there really was nothing that indicated they were going to make this change. And here's the thing, depending on what you sell in your Etsy shop, you may be out of compliance. Now, I'm not here to fearmonger you into thinking, oh my goodness, I'm out of compliance. I'm here to bring you information that you may have missed because there was no big announcement. And here's the thing, Etsy is not great about telling their sellers when their rules change. And y'all, I'm not just saying that. I'm going to prove this to you with two of the most recent updates Etsy has made to their policies. One of them you may not have heard of, and the other one literally just went into effect days ago. So before we get into what these changes are, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever bought an SVG bundle, a 3D cut file, or a laser file, or a 3D printer file, any of those, put it into your design software, and then turn around and sold the finished product on Etsy? If you have, I need you to listen. For years, Etsy explicitly allowed any kind of product made with a computerized tool, like a laser, like a Cricut, like a sublimation printer, using either your own designs or templates and patterns or files that you have purchased from other people. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that is unfortunately gone now. So this is the first example of them changing the rule quietly without letting people know, because this rule actually went into effect mid-2025. And if you want my honest opinion, I don't remember any big announcement. It was literally just a few words changed in their creativity policy. And y'all, don't just take my word for it. I have it pulled up. I'm going to link this down below, and we may even share it on the screen here. But it reads, in the creativity, Etsy's creativity standards, under the made by a seller, it is the fourth bullet point down. It reads, items produced using computerized tools, physical items that a seller produced in their personal shop or home using computerized tools such as a laser printer, 3D printer, CNC, or a Cricut machine. These items must be produced based on a seller's original design and are often personalized or customized to a buyer's specification. So those words where it says based on a seller's original design, that is where they changed that rule. So buying someone's SVG and using your Cricut to put it on a finished product and then selling it, you no longer can do that. Purchasing a laser file from someone on Etsy and then you using your laser and creating that finished product and selling it on Etsy, that is no longer allowed and no longer in compliance with their creativity policy. Now, the other one that is completely brand new actually doesn't even have anything related to people who use computerized tools, but I think it is one that is very important to note. So, the newest rule, which went into effect August 11th of 2026, prohibits notably a full fur ban with no vintage exceptions, and it puts restrictions on spell work supplies and services and things like that. So, that may not affect you specifically, but what it does is it establishes a pattern that Etsy is terrible at letting their sellers know when they change their policies. These are two different times that they have changed their policies, two different timelines, both changed with zero fanfare and no notifications to the sellers of my knowledge. As a seller on Etsy, I was not notified of these changes. Although the most recent one does not affect me, I was not notified of any changes. And that's where we get to the actual story here. And that's the fact that Etsy is continually moving the goalpost and somehow just expects us to know. And y'all, I'm not one to criticize Etsy. You know that we absolutely adore Etsy. We teach people in Passive Earner Society how to sell on Etsy. Like I said, we adore Etsy. But that is why it is so important to have someone in your corner who is an Etsy expert, whose job it is to be in Etsy and to coach you through these policy changes. Because here's the thing, Etsy is under pressure as a corporation to protect its handmade brand identity. And y'all, I get it, because it does feel like there at one point Etsy was flooded with mass-produced items, templated items, and it was all looking very similar. But y'all, policy changes do not have to be scary. They are at best predictable if you are paying attention. And sometimes as an Etsy seller, you may not have the time to go through their policy very regularly. And y'all, that is exactly why having a community of sellers and coaches in your corner and that have your back truly matters. When one member inside Passive Earner Society catches something like this, whether it is a member or a coach or anyone inside our program, we make sure to let everyone know. You don't have to be out here combing through Etsy's policies all the time on your own. When you have a community of like-minded sellers and coaches that have eyes on your shop and are in your corner and have your back, things like this are not something that we even have to worry about. And that is why I would love to invite you to join us inside Passive Earner Society. I have dropped that link down below for you all to apply to see if you are the right fit to work with us. If you are ready to take your Etsy shop to the next level and truly scale it like never before, the team that we have built inside Passive Earner Society and the community and results we are getting are phenomenal, and we want you to be a part of it too. So I know I'm here telling you all about those policy changes, but I do think it's important, if you are ready to take your shop to the next level, have people in your corner that has eyes on your shop and are constantly checking those policy changes and making sure that you are always in compliance. Click that link down below and apply for Passive Earner Society today. I promise you are not going to regret it. But y'all, if you have enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell notification so that you can be notified every time we bring you updates about Etsy. And y'all, don't be afraid. Let us know in the comments your thoughts on Etsy quietly changing their policy. Let us know if you've ever had to deal with this where they changed their policy and you didn't know about it. We love to hear your stories, so make sure you comment down below. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.